How's it going, guys? I hope everybody's having a great day today. I'm going to be showing you something a little bit spicy. So we were working on a sork that ended up ripping because of lag, and we made a pretty, I don't want to say budget, because some of the stuff is still kind of expensive, like a Hodo and a Shaco, but most of it is pretty cheap to get your hands on trade-wise. We are a summon Necro. We have our resistances capped. We have our summon skeletons at level 42. And it's just a general summon Fishymancer. Now we have enough plus skills that we only needed to put 1 point into Iron Golem. And that's going to be a big thing, and I'll go over that later in the video. So, stat-wise, we stick on enough to wear our gear, strength-wise. We get enough dex to max our block out with the homunculus. Now this is a hardcore build. You would probably want to switch the homunculus to a spirit or some other goodies, and instead of running the Hoto, there's other options as well. And I will go over those. But let's get to it. For our stats, we have enough strength to wear gear, enough dex for max block with homunculus, and everything else gets pumped into vitality. Our gear is a Shaco, an homunculus, a smoke, a Hoto, and everything else aside from the T-Gods is dedicated to magic finding. We got War Travs, we got two 30% Nagel rings, we have the 38% chance guards. Now, it may not be as good rolled as this, but 200% is where Magic Find starts to give diminishing returns. And so we are able to MF and run everything in the game, albeit a little bit slower. Now, other options that you can use for weapons. You could use an arm of King Leoric. To give you an idea, my resistances are overcapped right now. If I switched over to the arm instead of the Hoto, I'd be at 69 of each resist, which is good. And that would boost the skeletons and everything a little bit more. But since it's hardcore, I definitely like the safety of having a Hoto. We have all these summoning GCs. Doesn't have to be anything special since your skeletons are taking all the damage. You can see I have a pretty mediocre torch. Same thing, we just want the plus skills. Extra attributes and resistances are nice. And we have two small charms. One is life, just found it, and one's a 7 MF small charm. Now, start of your runs is going to look very similar to this. You get yourself a geared up enough merc to slap stuff around. I have the Obedience on him. Hell, Ko, Thul, Eth, Foul. It's in an Ethereal Thresher, but you can put it in pretty much anything. Polearm wise, of course. Like, you could get a Cryptic Axe, or a CV, as long as it's 5-socketed. We got a really nice base for the Duress, which all this stuff is just built straight up for Crushing Blow, and we have a G-Face. All of this stuff you can get cheaper versions of it just with cheaper bases, and a G-Face goes for almost nothing, even at the beginning of ladder. Drop an in. You can see we are on Hell. Merc's resistances are all maxed. He's got 90% Crushing Blow and open wounds, and he is the little engine that could. Now for skill point wise, we're going to put 20 into Raise Skeleton, 20 into Skeleton Mastery, then 1 point into everything else. The reason we only need 1 point is with all the plus summon skills, everything else is good. We have 67 resist. Summons don't get penalized for the hell difficulty like we do, so they just have 67% all resist. Our Iron Golem is a thick boy. The big thing with the Iron Golem, though, is you want to make sure that you drop an insight. It doesn't have to be a good insight. It can be any insight. With some of the changes they made, if I was to start a new game, the Iron Golem carries over with me. And, I mean, honestly, with the skeletons, you never know. He's a tank, even with just 1 point. Now, you could get skeleton mages and revives. You're definitely going to want to get revives specifically for Ubers. But we will cover that part on another day. Ubers are scary. Especially on hardcore. Now for our poison and bone tree, 1 into 10th corpse explosion, bone spear, and bone spirit. 1 into bone armor. You're going to want to max bone prison and bone wall out. And for curses, just 1 into each to reach Decrepify. On bosses, you're going to use Decrepify to slow. Everything else, you're going to use amp damage. It strips physical immunities on just about everything. And the stuff that isn't immune dips into the negatives and takes all that extra damage. Now, with this build, you are extremely survivable. As I said, you got max reses. If we dive, let's go beat up Mephisto. So we got bone armor, that absorbs 695. When I level up a little bit more, I'm level 82. When I get that bone wall maxed out, this is going to be around 800 damage absorbed. Which is physical, and let's be honest, in hell, unless you do something stupid, and I'm mostly talking about hardcore here, it's not a big deal if you die in softcore. But unless you do something stupid, because your damage is usually what's going to kill you. As long as you have your resistance. Pygmies, I think is the name for them. And we're at 883 life. We're tanky enough to just run right through. And granted, that's not something you normally want to do on Hell. Premise of the build, we get our summons up. Between the summons and your Merc. I have a Might Merc, and with that, all that stuff, he's doing pretty good damage. The second they get a kill, you pick up a Skelly, and between all of those, when bodies start dropping, you cast amp damage on groups, and use Corpse Explosion, which will just drop groups. Now, the only thing I'm missing for this build to be complete is an Enigma. Now, that is definitely one of the more expensive things, but it makes all the difference because then all your skeletons are attacking one thing, and as you can see here, where they're stuck in the door, we don't like that. We don't like it when they're stuck in the door. It's going to stop them from moving. And they can't get all their damage. Hopefully we find the door pretty quick here. pretty big thing for him not to die, especially since we used an insight to craft him.
Yes?
So we just take a TP back, and on our way back we go. The insight on the golem is not a must-have, but it definitely makes it easier to manage mana, and you can put something else like obedience on your mech. Let's see run right through here. Now I do have a teleport staff on my W swap on the offhand. However, the reason that I don't use it is all that delicious resist that you get from the Hoto. Oh, that's level 1. From the Hoto and the Homunculus. That's making up for about 100 resist right now. So I am going to skip ahead to this way. And here we are, level 3. Pressure going on. Cast half damage. Pressure over. My bar on hardcore especially is always 2 health. 1 mana, 1 antidote when running a summon Necro. Run ahead. That's a big thing that Enigma is going to fix. We don't have to run ahead, we just pull all of our skeletons in. No danger at all. Now it is a little bit slower than other builds to clear, but it is easily the best starter build on ladder, with the exception of sword. But a sword needs a bit here to get started. You can run all of health naked. Have to grab back. I'm pretty sure that's Titans. With all that being said, that pretty much wraps up the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and have a great day. And drop in the comments if there's a specific build you want to see. I will be more than happy to make it. Have a great day, everybody.